Hey, it's Allie. Welcome to Little Hill Homestead. I'm bringing you yet another bread machine recipe today. We had pineapple with dinner last night, and you guys know we also recently made our own pineapple juice. This stuff is so delicious. But we had some leftover from our canned pineapple, and I thought, perfect time to make Hawaiian rolls. So tonight for dinner, we're having meatloaf and stuff, and I thought Hawaiian rolls will go perfect with it. So what I'm going to do today is show you guys how we make Hawaiian rolls. You know those are they King's Hawaiian rolls that you buy at the grocery store, and like they're in the orange package and they're just delicious and you want to eat 17 of them? I'm gonna show you how to make your own. So the first thing that you guys need is a bread machine. If you don't have a bread machine, you can totally do this recipe without. Only difference is you're gonna do your sugar. Ooch, I forgot my brown sugar. You're gonna do your sugar and your water and your yeast. Let it sit for about 10 minutes until it bubbles, and then you're gonna pull it together. You can use your kitchen mixer to mix it and knead it, or you can do it by hand. But totally up to you. Let me go grab my brown sugar. I can't believe I forgot brown sugar. Hold on. Okay, we're back in action. My bad on that one. Okay, so the way that I use my bread machine typically is I do the liquids and the sugars and the salts at the base. I do a layer of flour, and then I put my yeast on top. It's just the easiest way for your machine to be able to handle it and to not kill your yeast. So first thing we're going to do is half of a stick of melted butter, which is 4 tablespoons. Make sure your paddle is in there, by the by. I have 1/4 of a cup of warm milk. To that, I'm going to add, let me see what I want to add yet next. Let me do our pineapple juice. You need 3/4 cup of pineapple juice. And this is my leftover. I don't know if I have 3/4 of a cup, so I brought an extra one out just in case. Let's see how close we get. Ooh, we're close, but I'm going to add a little bit more just because you don't want to skimp on the pineapple. So in case I haven't shown you guys how I open a lid, because this is obviously sealed from canning, is I use the edge of this to pop this. So what I do is I take my hand, let's see if you can see it, kind of like this. I put the ring underneath the lip right there, and then I pry it up. And it's the best way to get it to not bend your lid, and the easiest way to get it off without some fancy tool. You don't need these fancy tools to be able to open your cans. Okay, there we go. There's 3/4 of a cup. Pineapple juice. You know what we've been doing with this? We've been mixing it with ginger ale at night and calling it a mocktail, and it's been delicious. Especially because it's like starting to warm up and we're all ready for, well, it is pretty much spring, but we're ready for the warm weather. Okay, the next thing we need is 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar. You can use white sugar if you like. I like the way that brown sugar kind of adds something special to the recipe. This is our homemade brown sugar. We have a recipe for it. It's just sugar and molasses. It's super duper easy to make. If you've never made it before, don't get intimidated. It's literally the easiest thing. So if you have molasses and sugar, make your own brown sugar. Way cheaper. So I'm dropping in my sugar. We did the butter. I have eggs. Let me get a bowl for us. Okay, so we need 2 full eggs. So I'm going to drop those straight in. With the shell and everything, apparently. Hold on. So 2 eggs are going in directly. But our third one, I just want the yolk in here, and then I want to reserve the whites. So I'm going to go ahead and, of course, the shell doesn't crack right for us to do it. I just do it in my hand. And the white, if you spread your fingers apart a little bit, the white goes through and the yolk will plop in there. All right, next I brought my salt out here. We need 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Salt and sugar, come on, you guys, there's something special about adding the 2 together. We need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. You guys know that we make our own vanilla, so this is a bourbon-based or a whiskey-based vanilla. We cook it off, so don't worry about it. It's 1 teaspoon of that. I need to switch it to a mason jar so it doesn't look like quite so bad. I had it in a mason jar forever. I just haven't switched this one over. Okay. We're almost there, you guys. Can you believe it? You need 4 cups of flour for this recipe. It does have a little bit more flour in it. I use bread flour because I'm making rolls and I want a good puffy, good, textured roll. There's 3. And I don't know if you can hear the airplane going over. We live next to a municipal airport, and it gets kind of loud sometimes. But we do an air show here, and the Blue Angels come, and I love where we live. It's fantastic. Okay, the last thing you need is either 1 packet of yeast or 2 1/4 teaspoons if you buy it in bulk or buy it in the jars. I'm hoping I don't run out right now because it looks like I'm gonna. 1, 2. Let me grab it out of the freezer. My bad. So I showed you guys before, I keep extra jars like this or mason jars in the freezer so that the yeast doesn't die off. It'll be fine to use in the recipe. Usually I like to just stick it in the fridge so it kind of wakes up a little bit more. But what I do is I'll stick the empty jar in the freezer too. And when I open the next big thing of yeast, I have all these little yeast jars ready to go. Okay, that's it. On I have a Breadman Plus from like the 90s. On mine, it's number 7. It's just the dough cycle. So I just push it till you get to your number and hit start. What's that going to do? It's going to mix all my ingredients together for me, and it's going to do my first rise. So when I come back in 1.5 hours, it's ready to shape. So now I can go wash my car or mow the lawn, or actually I'm working on an art project, some painting. So that's actually kind of fun. So yeah. Anyways, so I'm going to clean up and come back in an 1.5 hours. I'm going to show you how we shape these rolls because it is a little bit different than we do for our other rolls, but it's really, really easy. So we'll be back. All right, we are back. Our dough has finished. It's just a big lump at this point. I keep my flour in a little shaker like this. It's a disaster, but it's just fine. Whatevs. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of that on the counter, and I'm going to put my dough on it. Oops. This is kind of a wetter dough. And my hook came free. All right. So with this dough, like I said, it's kind of wetter, so you definitely need some flour in your hands to work with it. We are going to split this ball into 15 little pieces. I usually try to split it in 3 equal-ish parts. That's definitely going to be okay. And then each one of those I'm going to split into 5. You don't have to be exact, you guys. If you haven't learned that by now from me, that is ridiculously small, though. Let's steal a little from over here. Anyways, you're going to make 15 balls. I have a 9x13 greased pan over here. And what we're going to do when you get your 15 balls made up, I'm just going to pretend there's 15, is you take each blob of dough, put a little flour on your hands, like I said, and you kind of just roll it until you get a ball. Then on part of your surface that's a little bit cleaner, put your ball down. You're going to cup your hand around it like this and rotate it in a circle. And it will slowly, my counter is too clean. My counter is too clean, you guys. Let's get this dough. I'm going to flip it around a little bit to where it's sticky so there's not so much flour on it. But like I said, you're going to cup your hand around it and spin your hand around in a circle. And what that does, as you do it, the dough will pull itself tight and make a perfect little ball. Show you again. Make kind of just a rough ball. Pop it down on the counter. And again, cup your hand over it and start spinning in a circle. As it spins, it's going to start to form a ball. And I kind of use this edge of my hand to pull it. To pull it a little bit once it starts to get that shape. But it basically stays just in the middle of your hand and you just spin it in a circle until you get a ball. That's the easiest way that I know to make a dough ball with this kind of a wet dough like this. All right. And like I said, it's a sticky dough. Once you get the hang of it, it kind of just pulls them taut so they're tight in a nice ball. You'll get the hang of it though, but look at how pretty they turn out. Anyways, you're going to do all 15 of those. You're going to put them in your 9x13 pan. I'm going to cover it with a towel. I'm going to let it rest for 45 minutes to do its second rise. At that point, I will bring you back to show you what it looks like and give you the next steps. Remember to save your egg white, by the way, from earlier on. We will be putting egg white on these once they rise, not until then. So just keep making balls for now and put them in a pan, cover it, 45 minutes. We will be back. I want to show you guys one up close, kind of the circle motion that I'm doing. So blop your ball down on the counter. And like I said, you spin. Of course, it's going to stick because I'm watching, but my hand is clean. You just start spinning in a circle. See how it released from the counter? And just keep spinning it. It'll pull against the counter a little bit until you get a perfect little ball. I'll do it again for you. You want to use the stickiness of the dough against the counter a little bit to get it to do the ball. See how it slowly starts to form? I'm giving a little push against it to get it to do this. So, but just spin in a circle. Ball. Okay, last one, I promise. I'm not really forming these too much on beforehand. This one's going to be a big bomba jumba, but see how it's like slowly, like, I mean, it sticks to the counter, but that's how it gets it to go tight against itself. Just until you feel like that's a perfect little ball. Boom. All right, that's a quick close-up. We'll be back once they have risen. All right, we're back for the final stage. Our dough has risen beautifully. I have that egg white that we had from the original recipe. I'm just gonna kind of spin it around the bowl with a spoon, and I'm just gonna coat the top of these with a little egg wash. I have my oven preheating at 350 degrees, and when these go in, you guys know we have an old oven, so I will flip them halfway through, so the ones in the back will move to the front just so they cook a little more evenly. If you have an old oven or a poor circulating one, I would do that, but you kind of know your oven at this point, I would hope. And what you're going to do is cook them for 20 to 25 minutes, and I will bring you back to show you the final result. But in they go. See you soon. All right, we are back with the final results, the final rolls. Let me see if I can pick this up. I took this out about 5 minutes ago. And when I took it out of the oven, I did brush the tops with just a tiny bit of butter. I just take a stick and I drag it over them, but look at that. Aren't those pretty? I mean, come on. All right, let me see if I can pop one out of here. They are soft and beautiful and hot. All right. So here's our, yeah, that's pretty good looking. Ooh, it's hot, 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 but the things I sacrifice for you guys. So there's our finished roll. I have butter, I was gonna say defrosting, which is entirely possible in our house. I have it chilling on the stove to try to warm it up a little bit. I forgot to turn this light off, so it looks like I have a halo. I'm an angel. They're good. They're yeasty and a little bit sweet. They're good. We're gonna enjoy these tonight, or I'm just gonna enjoy it right now. But throw a little jelly on it, or make like a sandwich slider out of them. That was delicious. The vanilla doesn't come across as vanilla, or the pineapple doesn't come across as pineapple. It just gives it a little bit of a sweetness, so it's like a sweetbread, which is what you're looking for in these beautiful Hawaiian rolls. Anyways, I hope you guys go make them. This is a pretty easy recipe. We have a Kentucky hot brown slider that we make out of these. You cut them in half. You put turkey and Swiss, mayonnaise and bacon, and then you bake it in the oven, and you put like a brown sugar glaze over it. I might make those eventually. I am enjoying my pineapple drink right here. I told you guys we mix ginger ale and pineapple juice lately is like our little mocktail at the end of the day. So I'm having that right now. I'm going to go eat my rest of my Hawaiian roll as a pre-dinner treat. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope you guys make these. You'll enjoy them. They're nice and tender and they're good. Anyways, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys.